At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. Albert Schweitzer. Yes, it's our community and support groups that help us refuel and dig deep to come back from the greatest setbacks. 'Tis the season to reflect on what unites us and be thankful for a friend or two. We're so happy you could join us on this insightful Wednesday edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Please stay with us as we continue to light your way with another informative lineup you need in this season.
All children deserve positive parenting. Why not pamper us? Be patient with us. Make time to teach us and, of course, play with us. Celebrate milestones with us and don't forget to be our #1 supporter. Do all these things and practice positive parenting today.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, December 14, 2022. Government is now close to island-wide rollout of the National Identification System, NIDS, with the first phase officially launched yesterday. NIDS is a secure way of verifying an individual's identity. It will establish a reliable database of all Jamaican citizens and will involve the issuance of a unique lifelong national identification number to every person. Prime Minister Andrew Holness officially launched the technical pilot for NIDS at Jamaica Post Central Sorting Office, where the Card Personalization Center was also opened.
We are this close to rolling out nationally across Jamaica. This is where we will have the technical pilot rollout, after which we will commence a national rollout all across Jamaica.
This technical pilot phase of the program will involve a select number of Jamaicans going through the enrollment process over the next 3 months. Project Director Dr. Warren Vernon says this is to test drive all the processes and subsystems of the NIDS in a controlled environment.
We will review every piece of feedback, so we're encouraging the public to participate to optimize the system in preparation for national rollout.
In parallel, Prime Minister Holness says work is proceeding to establish the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, which will manage the NIDS. While reiterating that NIDS is a voluntary enrollment system, he stresses that a framework has been put in place to protect the data collected under the system.
We have embedded into law serious consequences for data breaches. Most importantly, however, the NIDS is subject to the Data Protection Act.
As another security measure, individuals must give permission for their identity to be verified, and the system has built-in mechanisms to ensure that identity verification is detected and shared with the data owner for transparency. Spaces within various post offices are being modernized and transformed into enrollment centers. 24 will be established across the island. Motorists, including public passenger vehicle PPV operators, are getting a reprieve ahead of the implementation of the new Road Traffic Act in February 2023. On December 12, Cabinet gave definitive instructions to render all demerit points and tickets accrued up to February 1, 2018 null. Legislative steps will be taken to ensure these are not transitioned to the Road Traffic Act 2018. As for tickets accrued after February 1, 2018, those demerit points will be expunged, provided that they are paid before February 1, 2023. A statement from the Office of the Prime Minister says the decision was taken after wide-ranging deliberations and consultations with various government agencies and departments. It recognizes the overwhelming public demand for effective implementation of the Road Traffic Act 2018 and a transparent and accountable traffic ticket management system. as well as the concerns of well-thinking members of the public and all law-abiding owners and operators of motor vehicles. According to the statement from Jamaica House, once the new law and traffic ticket management system take effect February 1, 2023, there will be greater efficiency with a fully digitized process. In the meantime, the Chief Justice has advised that the Corporate Area Traffic Court has implemented new sittings to include night and Saturday court to accommodate an increase in persons wishing to clear their outstanding tickets. In other news, the Ministry of Education and Youth has officially relaunched the reintroduction of civics curriculum in Jamaican schools. This is intended to re-socialize students in terms of civility, self-respect, authority figures, and institutions. Portfolio Minister Fable Williams says the program will also emphasize citizenship, respect for national symbols, national heroes, and icons, all of which are important for cultural integrity and nation building.
We must note, however, that civics education takes place in a cultural context. We must teach our students about their history, where they're coming from, and where they intend to go.
She was speaking during yesterday's launch of the program at the Ministry of Education office in Kingston. President of the Jamaica Association of Principals and Secondary Schools, Linvern Wright, has lauded the new civics curriculum, calling it a difference maker in Jamaica's education system.
I think this curriculum is a challenge to ensure that the context within which we have to teach it is something that is congruent with what is best for our young people coming up.
In other education news, Minister Fable Williams says the ministry is committed to ensuring greater inclusion of children with disabilities. She was speaking at a recent virtual forum dubbed Embracing the Disabilities Act Towards Inclusion. The forum was hosted by the ministry as part of activities for Disabilities Awareness Week. Mrs. Williams reiterated that no child should be denied enrollment in school because of a disability. In support of this, she reveals that more than 424 trained special education teachers have been employed to assist students. In addition, the Jamaica Teaching Council Bill will aim to ensure that all teachers are exposed to some amount of special education training in order to create an environment of greater understanding of students with disabilities. Chairman of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, Colin Abanks, adds that all measures will be put in place to guarantee that the necessary support required for persons with disabilities are provided to ensure their education is effectively facilitated in the least restrictive environment. And finally, 3,000 trees will be planted on lands along Lady Musgrave and East Kings House roads in St. Andrew. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Matthew Samuda, says the initiative supports plans to relocate some trees that will be affected by the expansion of the roadways, expected to take place over the next 12 to 18 months.
The government of Jamaica, in its supplementary estimates, has approved the funding for us to buy the equipment that allows us to remove and relocate trees with particular root structures. And that procurement exercise will indeed get underway in a matter of weeks, Mr. Henry. So that's a major victory for us, and it shows that the government is investing in maintaining the trees that we do have.
Minister Samuda was addressing the inaugural staging of the Forestry Department's National Forestry Conference, held recently at the Jamaica Conference Center in downtown Kingston. The work, which is set to begin ahead of Christmas, is part of government's broader push to increase the country's forest cover under the National Tree Planting Initiative. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
How many more must die because of reckless drivers? How fast is too fast? Make we take time, no man. Obey the rules of the road. Drive with care.
So, of course, we all know it's the festive season, but it's also open to some really silly stuff that we want you to avoid, especially at this popular hotspot. Yes, I'm talking about that next trip to the automated teller machine, the ATM, to withdraw cash you so desperately need. Now, here are 3 safety tips to practice this season. Number 1, avoid using ATMs at night. Number 2, if you need to use an ATM at night, have someone with you to observe the surroundings while you are inside. Number 3, after leaving an ATM, ensure that you are not followed. If you are, do not go to your home or your residence, but go to a crowded area and call the police or security emergency number. Stay tuned for more safety tips this season, and remember to use them. We continue the thread of safety, but this time we turn your attention to the high cost of daily commuting. Pay attention on the roads, avoid the distractions, and check out this next feature to learn all you need to know about safe travel.
It could be the cause of a traffic holdup, disturbing the smooth movement of vehicles. It could be the cause of your arrest or punishment, where, depending on the degree of your offense, you're likely to be fined or jailed. It could be the cause of your physical injury, or that passerby having one less leg to depend on. Or it could be the cause of your life or someone else's. If you're realizing the grisly pattern here, then now would be the time to practice road safety. Road safety implies that measures are in place to limit or prevent road crashes or injuries to users of these thoroughfares. Road users include motorists, vehicle passengers, motorcyclists, and pedestrians. Measures for their safety include things like road signs, road codes, or even physical infrastructure.
On the traffic network, we have various road signs. So we have mandatory signs, and we have warning signs, and we have informational signs. So the warning signs are basically those signs that tell you that there is some impediment ahead, there is some issues ahead. So you'll see those are normally in the yellow and the black. So they will tell you that there's a traffic light ahead, there's an intersection ahead, there is a corner ahead, and there are other physical features ahead, or bridge, etc. We have the mandatory sign. These are signs that must be obeyed. If you disobey them, just know that you will be issued a traffic ticket. Those signs are normally red. They normally have a red in them. So keep your money in your pocket by obeying those red signs. So they are normally red and white or red, white and black. But that's the common feature of those. Then you will see the signs that are informational. Some of them are blue, some are green. Those just tell you where you must go, how many kilometers away you are from a particular township or location.
Now, after you've had a careful look at road signs as you go along, knowing and understanding the road codes becomes just as important. For us, we've seen people disobey some of those rules more than others.
One of the critical road rules that we must understand is that you see the speeding thing that we love? We need to cut it out. The faster you are going, and if you are involved in a collision, the speed at which the vehicle is going, that's the speed your internal organs are going. That's scientific laws, kinetic energy. The other one, serious risk factor, is the whole matter of not wearing helmet and wearing seatbelt. We have had too many drivers and passengers of motor vehicles parachuting out of motor vehicles. Another risk factor that's out there is the whole matter of cell phone usage. Those things can be distracting, right? So we need also to minimize that as best as possible.
Physical infrastructures have also been implemented to ensure a safer passage on our roadways. Observing all these measures becomes necessary because of the severe impact that disregarding them can and have had on our nation's people.
These crashes tend to occur on the road surfaces that are nicely laid. That is not to say that they don't occur on the bad roads, the road infested with potholes and bad. I'm not saying that. There are few occur on there, but majority of these fatal crashes are occurring on the nicely laid road sections. And when we look at what contributes to the crashes, we are seeing the human behavior being perpetuated. And we are losing a lot of our young people because of this situation. Must wear our seatbelt, wear our helmet. We have seen over 178 people dead already. Many were not wearing their protective gear. We know that. So we need to reduce those risk factors. We have been giving away our lives on the road. Giving it away. 54 motorcyclists dead, all males. Many of whom have their family members who they are living for. COVID-19 has caused us to recognize the importance of following rules and regulations in order to try to keep ourselves safe. Because of COVID-19, the spiral of crashes that we were expecting to occur at night, it has reduced dramatically. But what we have seen is that there is still cause for concern because in the day, COVID-19 has not caused drivers to be more careful as they drive on the road. Let us use that same impetus and spirit of wanting to live through Corona to wanting to live as we drive on the road and not put ourselves at risk and not put other people at risk. Let us try to be each other's keeper in this season.
So, while on the road, let's help to protect her life, his life, their lives, and our lives.
Do not leave valuables such as gifts, laptops, and cell phones in plain view in your car. If you have to leave these items in the vehicle, put them in the trunk. This will decrease the likelihood of a car break-in.
We turn our attention now to an important family matter as we understand the value of long-term relationships. Take a look.
Anna, why you knocking down my door? What is it?
Jackie, I don't know what to do. From Jason dead, I have nothing to give to the children and I don't know where to turn.
So why you didn't go down to the Administrator General's department, the place I told you about the other day?
Lord Jackie, me know you try to help me, you know, but remember say me and Jason never did marry, you know.
What do you mean by that, Anna? The law say if a single man and a single woman live together as husband and wife for 5 years and more immediately before death, then he or she is considered a spouse.
Really? That mean me can't get something then? Cause boy, it rough, you know.
Yes, man, just go down there, tell them about the case, that Jason died leaving no will, house and children under 18 years. Go down there and see what them can do for you.
A true you're talking, Jackie. Where is the place there again?
Down a waterfront, man. 12 Ocean Boulevard. Go down there, talk to them and see if them can help you.
Okay, I'm going down there right now.
Good morning, madam. How are you?
Good morning, miss. I hear that the Administrator General's department can help me. You see, my children, them father died, leaving me with the 2 pitney them, and I'm me alone I care for them.
Did he leave a will?
Will, ma'am. After Jason never ready for dead, I come from work and drop down dead. My friend tell me say under the law, I'm considered a spouse. By the way, who is a spouse?
Under the Interstates, Estates and Property Charges Act, a spouse is a single man and woman living together as husband and wife for 5 years or more. By living together, the two persons should not have been separated at any time during the 5 years immediately before death. A surviving spouse includes a person who's legally married. That is, he or she went in front of a pastor and took the vow of marriage. If Anna meets the requirements, she can hire an attorney at law or go to the legal aid clinic to apply for an order from the court declaring that she's a spouse. Some of the questions the court will look at are, did Anna and Jason break up during the 5 years? Did Jason have any children born in the same year as Anna's children? The court will also want to know if Anna or Jason were married before and not divorced. Once the order has been granted, the spouse would be entitled to benefit from the estate of the deceased. For further information, you can visit the Administrator General's Department in Kingston, 3rd floor at the Office Center Building, 12 Ocean Boulevard, or call us at 922-183023. You can also visit our Western office at the 2nd floor of the National Housing Trust Building at 42B Union Street, Montego Bay, St. James. Telephone 630-4261. Our website is at www.agd.gov.jm. That's the Administrator General's Department, securing your legacy.
It's time you live a little and find out what it really means to put your heart into something. Let's tap into our creative sides and get inspiration from this next feature.
Tis the season for spreading joy and showing our friends and family that we care. However, things might be a little tough this year, or perhaps you might want to go a different route when choosing a gift. Let's look at some simple do-it-yourself gift ideas. Gift cards. Computers and the internet have made so many things impersonal, or in some cases, downright non-existent. Remember when a celebratory moment wouldn't go by without a card? Let's bring back the gift card. There's nothing like getting a personalized message from a loved one, and with the computer and a little bit of imagination, we can make it happen. A gift from the little Picassos. You know how the children are always doing art projects, sometimes on the newly painted walls of your home? Let them make a painting for a parent, grandma, a relative, or a teacher. Even if the artwork is not so perfect, the person receiving it will love and treasure it more than anything you could pick up in a store. Say it with your chest. This is a trend that you might notice on social media. Couples matching each other or kids matching parents with personalized t-shirts. It's cute to boot, but this does not need to be an expensive venture. Buy plain white t-shirts and let your inner artist fly. Jewelry making. They say diamonds are a girl's best friend, and that may be so. But a personalized homemade bracelet sends the same message and leaves you with money for the more important things.
Do-it-yourself items are the best because you can custom make whatever it is that you want. So unlike when you go to a store and you see an item that is already done, it may not fit your purpose, it may not suit you. So with do-it-yourself items, you are able to bring your own style, your own flavor, your own expertise and creativity to this project. And the cost is so much better. So do-it-yourself gift items, projects is just the way to go.
We see customers shopping for a lot of DIY items which they could put together, make a perfect gift. We have gift baskets, accessories to do the gift baskets. We also have art items, canvases, paints, paintbrush. Put those together, you get a perfect art and craft accessories to give a child or someone who's in art.
Round trips and one-way tickets are a dime a dozen this season, and with all the fanfare, some may forget an important little book that may need an update. You know which book I'm talking about?
It's among the world's most powerful books. It grants you access to over 50 international territories without a visa. I'm sure by now you realize I'm speaking of a Jamaican passport. Here's how you can acquire this trusted identification and travel document. The Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency (PICA) is the government entity responsible for issuing this identification and citizenship document. First, you must obtain and complete a passport application form. The form is available at PICA offices on their website or any police headquarters island-wide. First-time adult applicants are required to appear in person with their completed application form and 2 identical photographs, one of which must be certified by the person who verified the application form. The photos must be taken within the last 6 months for it to be valid. Additional documents are a birth, adoption, or Jamaican citizenship certificate, as well as a valid government-issued photo identification, such as a driver's license or a voter's ID, and a proof of name change if the name has been altered. For renewals, adult applicants may apply online or in person by submitting a simplified renewal form along with the expired passport. A Dropbox service is also available at PICA's headquarters at 25 Constant Spring Road in Kingston. Applications submitted using the Dropbox service will take 7 working days to process. Applicants living overseas must visit pica.gov.jm to start the renewal process. They will need their expired passport, passport-sized photograph for upload, Visa or MasterCard, debit or credit card to make payment, and an email address to get updates on the application. Applicants who are under 18 years old must appear in person and present a certificate of citizenship, 2 identical photographs with one being certified, the parent or legal guardian's government-issued identification, and sections C and E of the application completed by the parent or guardian. The same procedure applies for passport renewals for minors. Passport processing fees will vary depending on the service chosen or the location where the application was submitted. A regular adult passport costs $6,500 Jamaican dollars locally, $80 if in America, or £50 in the United Kingdom. PICA's Kingston location processes applications in 7 working days. Montego Bay, Portmore, and Maypen does so in 14 days, while overseas applications take 20 working days. Expedited services are also available for local applications. Once the passport is ready, applicants must bring the official receipt with a valid ID and pick up at the location they submitted their application. The person collecting on an applicant's behalf must have a written consent form, a copy of the applicant's ID, and the official receipt. Courier services are available at PICA's Kingston location. It's the gateway to travel and so much more. Getting a passport is your legal right as a Jamaican citizen.
I hope you enjoyed the show today. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for another informative edition of the latest news and interesting features. It's our pleasure to keep you informed. Send us your feedback on today's show or any of our programs via email at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. You can also find more content on our website at jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Be wise, drive smart. Road safety matters.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.